Welcome to another episode of Issues of the Mind. Today we're looking at a very sensitive topic called self-esteem. I have that self-esteem is the way you see and value yourself. So the question is, how do you see and value yourself? It is your overall sense of self-worth and how much confidence you have in your own abilities, your qualities, and your own importance as a person. So how do you see yourself? How much confidence you have in your abilities, in your qualities? How important do you see yourself? And all of these things stems from the mind. There are issues stemming from your mind. Now, as much as it could be generational. So what I mean is it could be something that you inherited from your parents. So everything that surrounds our mind, issues of the mind, are generational. That means that they are genetic. You could inherit them. So your parent could project certain thoughts, certain realities, certain actions into you. And then it goes on and on and on like that. So I want you to all to think deeply as you see this video and check if you have these traits in you. Once you find them, it's a good sign that you're going to work on them and grow your self-esteem. Now, self-esteem can either be healthy, low, or very high. So healthy self-esteem has to do with how you accept yourself, recognize your strengths and weaknesses, and maintain balance. So an ideal self-esteem, or which we call an healthy self-esteem, is that you see yourself right, you know your qualities, you appreciate who you are, you value yourself, and you know how to deploy those values, those qualities. And then low self-esteem is when you see yourself lower than who you are. So that means that you doubt yourself a lot, you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in your qualities, so you can't achieve as much as you're set to achieve. And the idea is that it makes you feel inadequate. So if you think, I have this inadequate feeling most of the time, I feel somehow most of the time, it is high time you work on those feelings of being not enough, not inadequate. And that thing we call imposter syndrome also stems from low self-esteem. When you don't think that are fantastic and are good, and then you feel, am I actually doing this? Am I actually achieving this? Is this really me? Am I living a fake life? What you have already on the inside, and you're doing it and people are seeing it, it means that you're putting effort into yourself to evolve. Now, there's this scenario that I like to paint. Husband and wife, where the wife is achieving so much and high flyer and stuff. And you as your husband, how do you handle this? This is the time where you need to grow your self-esteem to be able to accommodate your wife to fly, to achieve a lot more and become all what God has written about her. Don't be that husband or that man that would snuff out the potentials and the greatness of your wife. If you ask me, be that man that always support your wife, no matter how high she's flying. You know, there are women today in our society that are high flyers. And you try to find out how does their husband cope. Because those men have healthy self-esteem and they can go any length to support their wife to become good. Why? Because you have become a team. So as a team, when a team member is achieving high, it is also for the whole team. Because when a team member is doing well, all the members of the team automatically are doing right. It is also left for the wife as well to also use wisdom to submit, to manage your husband and your home and put things in perspective how they should be. You know, it takes the man to grow in self-esteem. It takes the woman to also apply lots of wisdom in managing the home front. Ensure that nothing lacks, everything is well in order, and your husband is well respected and valued as well. You know, and for that man that you doubt your self-esteem, and when you see your wife doing a lot, you want to feel that no, she won't do so well. You want to snuff out the abilities. You want her to just remain controlled. The truth of the matter is how high your wife flies determines how healthy your self-esteem is and how well you're doing as a man. The wife is likened to a garden. If the garden is properly tended, looking well, healthy and good, it shows that the gardener is doing something good. And that is where I need you today to have clarity, to be that man in that home that will definitely be the number one cheerleader, supporter of your wife. So she can achieve every goal that she has to achieve. And this thing in itself is a major ingredient that we need to build the family unit across board. You can go and do your research and find out. It's been a major challenge. And so today, the message for us is to grow our self-esteem. Now, we're going to discuss more on self-esteem. Number one, childhood experiences. That's why I said earlier that it is genetic. How were you raised? Who were the people that raised you? I mean, your parents, who were they? Were they people that had healthy self-esteem, that were good? Were they people that supported you to have good values, good qualities, deploy it, and also have that feedback in your mind that you're doing good? Childhood experiences, achievements, and failure. There are times that in our lives you try to achieve a lot. So the process of achieving, you fail once. And because you have failed once, you feel, oh, I can't do so much with it. No, keep trying. Now, this is the twist to it. If you fail once, it means you gain more experience to become better at that thing. And you'll be much more better for it. For me, I love to learn from someone that has failed over and over and then succeeded. Because they have a lot more experience than someone that just tried it once and boom, they were done. The best teachers were teachers that failed and they continued trying and they succeeded and they got better at it. So I'll let that you work on it. I have social comparison. Why do you want to compare yourself with other people? Why can't you build self-worth in what you have? Whatever it is that you have, whatever it is that you want is good enough for whatever you need it for. Somebody once said that as long as I have a car, I can move me from one place to the other. I think I'm fine. I don't have the best of the cars in the world because cars are not assets, they are liabilities. To for them, to repair them, and then you grow your wealth. You don't live beyond your means. So you don't compare yourself to other people. Because if you look closely at lots of people you compare yourself with, you will find how what they do that may not sit well with you. So it is safe not to compare yourself with other people. Bounce back from setback. You are not made to remain on the floor. There's nothing wrong in you failing, but it is very wrong if you want to remain a failure. So when you fall, when you have setbacks, you need to rise up, dust yourself, and move on. I'm not saying it will be easy, but I'm saying that you can move forward and you can win. And then that setback will be a catapult to set you forward, fast forward into your purpose. Don't miss that. Yeah, when you're comfortable with both strengths and weaknesses, don't be comfortable with both. Build your strength so that your strength would overcome your weaknesses. Build yourself. Those are the ways I know, proven, tested, that you can boost your self-esteem. Do not compare yourself with other people. You see, when God made you alone. You even have pairs of mates. Even if you're twins or triplets, you're still individuals at the end of the day. And of course, surround yourself with very supportive people. If you sense that you have someone around you that is toxic, you are not a tree. Move. And you don't have to have so many friends. Even if you have just one friend or one sibling or maybe just your parent and they support you, that is all you need to fly. All the wings and all the fuel you need to fly is from that one person that would always support you. And don't think twice in checking your connections, your friends, people around you, and trim them so that you can go far. Like they say, if you want to go very far, go with people, or specific kinds of people that would encourage you all the way. Now, forgive yourself. There's a part of forgiveness where people stop. Is forgiving yourself and forgiving people that has hurt you. You have failed, yes. There are lots of people who have failed before. Forgive yourself. Rise up and move on. Don't dwell in your heart too much. Don't sit down there licking your wounds and think, I've messed up, I've done. Yes, you have, but it is temporary. But at the end of the day, it is important that as a man, you balance your self-esteem. When your wife is flying high, she's doing well, it shows that you are doing well as a good husband. You're nurturing a great garden, and you are pouring into her to grow and fly. Let's not be that the moment she gets married to you, she begins to lose her quality, her potential than who she had been called to be. Let the story be that As soon as you got married, you started flying and becoming better, going all the way. And you, the woman as well, no matter how far you go with your husband. Even if you are the one that will be in the spotlight, forefront, let the man be in the front row, smiling at you and cheering you on. Become a team that is formidable, unbreakable, unmatchable. Be the power couple. And how do you be the power couple? You balance each other. A high self-esteem, wisdom, submission, and support. And then it works out fine. Don't listen to people that will say, if your wife goes far like this, she will not listen to you again. The first point of resolving whatever issues you have, conflict you have in your midst between yourself, sit down, talk to yourself, resolve it, and move forward as a team all the time. So it is very pivotal, important that you work on your self-esteem both individually and collectively, because it is for your greater good. And don't let people look you less. You are bigger, you are better. There's a lot more potential on the inside of you. You need to bring them out. And the time is now. Work on yourself. Remember, there is no house without the mental health. And there is no you without us. See you around.